right, let's get it. Hi guys, my name is Janae Kovacs. If you don't know me, I am the 2025 IPF Junior World Champion and Best Lifter. I have been powerlifting for 7 years. I just recently competed at Avancus Houston, so for my first YouTube video, I want to give my thoughts on the meet. How was my experience as an athlete? What goals did we have going into the meet? How did we reach them? And what's next moving forward? So yeah, firstly, let's go into the goals for this meet. So this meet was only 6 weeks after Worlds, right? Which is not a quick turnaround. The expectations were not that high before Worlds, but considering my Worlds performance and how that went, I think that the bar was a little bit raised for myself, just because I felt really good coming out of Worlds. And there was a couple things that went into that, right? A lot of people mentioned that, oh, there's no way that she's gonna have a good meet. It's only 6 weeks, da 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 da. Wrong. Silenced, baby girl. So why was that the case? If you're close to me in my training, it's very easy to understand why I was able to have such a good turnaround with only 6 weeks. So the way I train is very intense, just like any other high-level powerlifter, right? But I'm doing primary SBD. So if you look at my average training day of like a week 4 SBD, it's going to be so much more intense than a meet day, right? I'm hitting essentially the same loads, and then I have back downs on top of that. And the back downs, if you know, you know, baby girl, them back downs, that's what'll get you right there. So taking that into consideration, and also the fact that I really didn't have to empty the tank all that much. Like 550 was a pretty subtotal meet for me. So going lift by lift, squat, I think I had maybe 5 kilos left in the tank. Bench, I probably had about another 5 to 7.5. And deadlift, same case. I think about maybe 5 to 10 kilos. So when you add all the numbers up, let's say you have 5 kilos left on the tank on each lift. That's 15 kilos right there. So for me to go from a 550 to a 567 total, which was a 17 kilo difference, it's not that crazy. The 17 sounds like a lot if you know, but when you break it down, it's not that crazy. So yeah, training momentum was really high after Worlds. Got right back to training while I was in Costa Rica, and once I got back home, and I was feeling the strongest I, quite frankly, had ever been. So I knew Avancus was going to be a good meet for me. And then I started thinking about, well, I'm pretty close to the open American record for the 69 kg weight class. It was set by Celine Crump at 566.5 kilograms. And so I believed, I was like, well, considering my world performance, I think I can out total this. I think I could take the open American record, which, some foreshadowing, I didn't technically, but that's okay. Props to Megan, she did her thing out there. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So for me, I was like, well, I have nothing to lose at this meet. There's nothing to lose, nothing really to gain other than me solidifying my position in the open, right? I do have 1 more year as a junior. However, I feel like the way my experience went at Worlds was a good way to cap off my year as a junior. So I won Junior Worlds, got Best Lifter at Junior Worlds. How much more could you really ask for, right? And if I'm going to be competitive in the open, it's good to get that exposure earlier rather than later, I believe. We've seen cases of that where it's successful. For example, Alba started competing in the open as a junior, and look, this year she won 63 kg world champion. Once I found out we could actually officially break the records, I said, well, let's shoot for that 567 total, right? We were able to chip the deadlift. I knew I was going to walk away with the American deadlift record no matter what happened. So yeah, it's like, let's go for it. Now for me, what I really didn't expect was that 567 total to be as easy as it was to obtain. So if you look back at my meet recap, and I'll insert some clips here, we'll go lift by lift, but every lift had something left in the tank, right? I would say minimum 5 kilos on each lift again, right? So if we're looking and comparing to worlds, I think the RPE of both of these meets were pretty similar. And if anything, I think the RPE of my Avancus meet was even easier than worlds. So, it was a big shock to me. So for example, with bench, I'm racking the weight back and I just start laughing as soon as I lock it out because it was comically easy. I did not expect it to be that easy, considering that also too I misgrooved on my second. And
oh my god, what is that? Oh my god, what is that?
it was a combination of misgroove and my right foot was slipping as I was benching, so I kind of just had to Larson press it on the right side. It was get tell. But yeah, realizing how easy I was able to do that, I was like, damn. It's not looking good for the ups. It's not looking good. It's not looking good for y'all. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I don't take anything for granted, right? I know I still got to work for my open spot. And the goal is to get so strong in the next 5 months. There's a spread, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, at Worlds, everybody said it was going to be this crazy battle. But where was the battle? Where was it? I'm sorry. But like, okay, I mean, it wasn't really a battle considering that I won on my second deadlift, right? So yeah, I think it's realistic to set that similar goal for US Nationals in 2026, right? If I can win by my second deadlift, baby, it's looking good, you know what I'm saying? So, realistically, what total do I think I had in the tank on that day? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to like give anything away, right? I don't want to make them too scared. But all I want to say is, I think if anybody's gonna beat me at U.S. Open, they're gonna need to be putting up a hefty total, okay? So I mean, the mentality I have is like I'm thinking my competitors are training just as hard as I'm training, so I need to out train them. So I need to train even harder than I would train at a baseline. You know what I'm saying? That's that grinder mentality, and that's how you put 17 kgs on your total in 6 weeks, baby girl. But yeah, I mean, I blew my own expectations out of the water. My coach Alex, he was like, honestly, bro, I expected you to hit it like that easily. I said, okay, well, I guess, he's the man that runs the numbers, so hey, whatever. But yeah, overall, I mean, I was very happy with the day. I was a little upset. The only thing that I was upset about numbers wise was my squat. I said I'm gonna load 200 kg no matter what. I don't care. It was like finally time to put 200 kgs on the platform, which is 440 pounds for my Americans out there who don't know. And so like once I hit the 192, I walked off the platform and I'm talking to my handlers, Will and Carrie, and I'm like, oh, well, I think 197 is a safe attempt, right? But I didn't even need to be safe at this meet. There was like nothing to lose or gain. I was just like going back into the strategy mode, right? And so I told him, yeah, let's just load 197. Smoked it. I'm going to insert it here. I know y'all saw. Why is that moving like an opener? But that's great though. That's great because either way it goes, it set me up for the mentality of I still gotta hit that 567 total. So I said I gotta hit at least 127 on bench and at least 240 something on deadlift. So we did it. We got it done. Walked away with the open American deadlift record. Unfortunately, I did not walk away with the total record. I would have, but Megan Scanlon weighed in a bit heavy. And all props to her. She did that. She deserved it. So, I'll just have to get my record back at Open Dance. So, I mean, but there wasn't really too big of a spread between us. It was like 6 kilos. Obviously, she weighed in like, I don't know, 2 point something kilos under me. So yeah, I guess so. She earned it. Speaking of that, getting to talk to Megan was really dope. She's an awesome person. So if you're watching this, Megan, or Shout out Megan. Shout out Megan, bro. She a GOAT. She's the GOAT. Let's move on to the athlete experience, right? I feel like from day one, it was like VIP treatment, you know? Like most meets I've been to, you know, you don't really have much contact or really get any rigmarole until you're actually there. So obviously I was a later add-in. So people are asking like, when did I get added into the meet? I was added in, it was actually before Worlds. I forget the exact timeline. I'll check on it and I'll put it down here what the timeline was. So I got added to the meet, and at first I was like, well, we'll see how it goes coming off of Worlds, but as we now know, that was irrelevant. So yeah, I got added in. I mean, the team was absolutely amazing. Shout out Mo, shout out Andrew. Amazing with communication. Everything was laid out very clearly. The perks that we got, I mean, we got custom shoes, the custom clothes, and I mean, chef's kiss. Those Avancus Houston, the shoes, oh! We got to the venue the day before the meet for media day. Shout out White Lights Media. They eat up every time. Leave no crumbs. So yeah, I got some footage in, interviews, stuff like that. Showed up the next day. We're all in our white gear looking like we're about to go drink the Kool-Aid. So we did have a 7-person flight for the women, which is pretty small. They assured us that they'd make sure that they load a little bit slower and just, you know, take their little bit of time to give us some more rest. So that was appreciated. And shout out TSS spotting and loading team. They do their thing every time. Gotta love them. So yeah, I mean, as far as athlete treatment goes, best meet hands down, right? I have no complaints really in that department. The only complaint I would say I would have with the structure of the meet was the prize pools and how it was divided, right? And I know I'm not the only one with this sentiment. So I personally didn't know that they had one prize pool for everybody, right? I thought it was separated by men and women because that's typically, I've never seen a meet where it's not separated by men and women. So yeah, it was the top 3 GL that got a cash prize regardless of gender. I think moving forward next year, I don't think they should do it like that. I think they should have separate prize pools for men and women. Whatever the reason for that was, I'm not quite sure. I don't know if it was a budgetary thing, but I know that there was a lot of money that went into this meet. I don't think that they didn't have the budget to be able to have separate prize pools. And even if they didn't, then split the 15K down the middle and do some for men and women. Especially considering, like, you know, athletes like Joe and Austin are already getting paid. Like they getting paid. They getting paid for their services, right? So, you know, let a little guy over here win, right? I'm playing. I'm just joking. But yeah, I mean, I honestly though, I really wasn't upset by the fact that I didn't win any money. I went there more to prove my point of like, I'm the best 69 in America, you know, like that was the point to prove. So I felt satisfied. I wanted to hit that 567 total. I did that, walked away, and you know, the money, it's like, I'm not like, it's not like I was relying on an Avancus Houston payout to pay my rent. So like, the world will keep spinning, okay? I don't want you to think I'm like Mr. Krabs over here, like money. Like, no. Like, my experience and everything that came out of it was worth more than 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, you know, however much money, right?
She said, yes, sir. Mama got a man, but you're investor.
And then finally, I want to talk about moving forward, right? So I feel like this year has obviously been very crazy for me. First year in the IPF, and I did my thing. I can't even lie, I did my thing. So it's pretty much going to be a continuation of that, you know? I don't want to lose anytime soon. The plan is to go to US Open Nationals, and that will be first week of March in Lake Tahoe. I don't know how I feel about driving around in Lake Tahoe during snow season, considering I've been living in the South my whole life.
I might swerve in that corner, whoa, whoa. Bitch, hold on tight, cause I tweak in this bitch, not letting shit go.
But I'm a good driver. We'll figure it out, right? You know, my dad was born up north, so it's probably in my genetics somewhere. And yeah, make the U.S. team, and then from there, I want to win Open Worlds next year. I know it sounds like a crazy goal, right? But I don't think it's that crazy. I think the 69 weight class is kind of having an opening up with Agatha moving up, and with individuals like Carola Gara. She's been fairly injured over the last year or so. That's not to say that she can't come back and still put up a great total. You know, I'm never sleeping on the veterans, okay? But I think that I can be aiming in the 600 territories next year, right? If everything goes according to plan. So who knows who's going to be coming in and out of the weight class, but the overarching goal is just get so strong in that it doesn't really matter, unless Agatha decides to be 69 again. Do I think I can beat her yet? Maybe in my dreams. I think everybody else, you know, like, watch your back, because I'm gonna be creeping up. I don't even think I can creep up anymore. Like, I was under the radar for so long, but I think at this point it's a little bit, I think I've done too much. But outside of that, I'm just trying to build up my brand, build a lot of things, you know. But I also wanted to hit on the point of, why did I want to start a YouTube channel in the first place? I think reels are cool and all, but I love mid to long form type of content. I think it allows you to be able to flesh out your ideas a little bit more. It gives me longer than 20 seconds to convey what I want to convey. And I'm a little long-winded, so, you know, yeah. Yeah, I think the YouTube thing's gonna be very fun. Shout out Bob Matthews. He was like, you need to start YouTube. You need to do YouTube, bro. Like, you got the personality for it, blah, 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 blah. So shout out Bob. I'm finally doing it, bro. We're in the big leagues, baby. So, but yeah, I think it'll be good. My goal is to post at least one video a week. I do have a day job, so, you know, unless y'all want to retire me from my day job, still gotta work. So there's that. But outside of the competitions and all that, you know, I've been trying to figure out ways to get more involved. So I am starting my coaching business, because let's be honest, your girl's not trying to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of her life. If I have to, I will, but yeah, I'm looking forward to putting more content out and keep you guys updated on what's going on. And until the next one, take care of my pookies, and goodbye.